Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! There you go, guys. I did it.
Alright. I'm so proud.
Sorry if I blew out some earphones there. You may notice you can't see our faces. That's because we're doing our social distancing because of the current world situation. So just bear with us as you're watching tonight. Now that that's out of the way, Nick, do you want to go ahead and do start off the player introductions? Then we'll get started.
Hi, I'm Nick. I play through. Let me try that again. I'm Nick. I play through Hammerlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
I'm Kay, and I play.
My good friend.
Did Harmony transform into a slime? Is that why you can't talk?
I play Harmony, the Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I'm Zach, and I play I play Zant, who is the Human Fighter Ranger.
And I am Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human pirate swashbuckler rogue.
Okay, thank you. So a couple of quick announcements to run through, and then I'll get into a recap, and we'll just start playing. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom wild magic table, so be aware of that as you're watching. Our music, which probably won't be in tonight's episode because I keep forgetting to add it in post, is from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. Our character portraits, which are on the info cards, which I believe are on screen, were drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, you could just check the video description for links and info to everything I just mentioned and more. And for anything else, you can follow us on Twitter @AntiheroesAnon. And other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, come back and watch some more. So, recap of where we're at. The Antiheroes, this intrepid party, are going after a night hag named Mother Midnight in her lair on Malbolg, the 6th lair of the Nine Hells. They just recently arrived in Stygia, which is the 5th lair, where they have 3 tasks they are hoping to perform. The first is to recover a shard of a pit fiend's heart to make good on a promise to Sial, a friend of theirs. The second one... This is a little out of order. That's why.
Oops.
Oh, no, I'm just reading poorly. I'm out of order. It's not your fault, Nick. It's mine.
It's all systems out of
order. The second task is to find an ice devil named Bazith, to have him annul his hold over the crew of the Sea Devil's Curse, because Mara's grandfather is a member of that crew, and was sort of coerced into a devilish bargain. And the third objective is to link up with the army that their traveling companion of a long time at this point, Moloch, has promised that he has prepared on this lair in preparation for the fight against Mother Midnight. On their journey here, they also learned that failing to help a tiefling named Discord could have dire consequences for Harmony and her bloodline down the line. So they are currently en route to a city named Tantlin, which is sort of the central city within Stygia, in hopes of finding leads as to how to approach those goals. So last session we left off, you had a bit of a fight with a demon and some Yugoloths who were prowling about this graveyard of ships that sort of surrounded the entrance to Stygia from Avernus, where clearly some great naval battle had taken place. You saw there were just corpses of devils floating in the water, and there was wreckage from all of these vessels and things like that. But the only demons that remained were the ones that you faced off against. So after ending that encounter, the Drowning Kiss began to sail its way down the River Styx again, towards the city of Tantlin, and we left off with the knowledge that you had probably about a day's travel until you reached Tantlin. With the Drowning Kiss just kind of gently and calmly sailing into the twilight of this lair. So, knowing you have about a day of time before you arrive at your destination. What would you like to do?
Well, we're all severely wounded after that encounter, so we probably need a rest.
Yeah, severely wounded. Right.
Yeah. Did anyone take damage?
Mara took Harmony took 4 damage.
4 damage. Oh, from her own
From
spell,
her own
right?
Spell, yes.
Oh no.
Yes, 4 hit points lost to my Hellfire.
Yeah.
Do you need a good barrier too to help out with that?
4.
Um,
I want to finish reading my book.
Yeah, how long do you
plenty
have
of time
left
to do that.
on your book before you're done?
It's like 3 hours.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I had 3 hours left.
So yeah, you can definitely take some time to settle down in there and pull out your book and do some reading and finish that up. So I guess remind me and listeners what that does. I can't remember. Is it the
Book of bodybuilding?
Constitution?
Ask you guys.
Let's find out.
it's the +2 con book
Oh, does it just give me a +2 to con?
Yeah.
from
If
Book of Bodybuilding.
If it's like the book Thaddeus read, that's what it does, yeah.
The Manual of Bodily Health.
No.
Let's see. That's the one. Let's see. Yeah, when you finish reading it, your Constitution score increases by 2, as does your maximum for that score.
My maximum for that score? Oh, I think go over 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
the demon
Hold on,
voice.
I think Jessica's locked outside. I need to go rescue her.
Okay,
Good, it
Okay,
gives me a chance to update this. So my
summon another demon too.
What?
Oh, we heard a demon voice come out again.
Yeah.
Of my microphone?
Yes.
But I unplugged my...
Maybe it's not the headset.
Never
then.
mind.
was
She was not
Yeah.
locked outside.
There's like 2 words of infernal this time. Not the entire ritual.
Well, maybe I do need to get a different microphone for this then.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Okay, anyways, so the only thing I have in my notes, I have 2 things. One of them is Arcana check on true name. I rolled a 16 last time, and I got some information, but it wasn't clear if I had all the information or not. The other thing was to maybe dip some more arrows in that demon Iker.
Okay, you can definitely take care of both of those things. If you want to spend a little bit more time thinking about the nature of true names and things like that, you could go ahead and make another Arcana check.
I will.
Would it be
Question.
more Sorry.
Sorry, quick mechanics question about my Constitution bump. So if I increase my score by 2, my modifier goes up by 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get 19 more hit points?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Pretty great. What were you saying, Melissa?
Mara now.
Maybe.
You were talking about putting Iker on the tips of your arrows, and I was wondering if holy water wouldn't work better, or would work at all.
Probably depends on the foes we're fighting. I don't know
still
if
have some holy water.
that's a good point. I don't know if holy water is effective against them, but it also doesn't like stick like the Iker does apparently.
Okay.
Holy water can be applied right before a fight, I think.
Okay.
So we can save it for that moment if we need it.
Okay. Thanks.
I think we had those for the vampire, right?
Yeah, we ended up not using hardly any of them, so we still have a bunch.
They are effective against fiends, though. So if that's something you want to.
Any particular? Are they? I guess is it particular fiends or is it like most fiends?
If the target is a fiend or undead, it takes 2d6 radiant damage.
Oh wow, so it's all okay. That's good thinking. All right,
Okay.
Arcana check.
And
That's
you can
pretty
dip
good.
anything in it, like blades.
Yep, you can do ammo or weapons, from what I understand. I got a 19. I got 17 plus 2.
Okay. So as you sit down and kind of start thinking about it, you realize that the way that Harmony described the nature of true names, there's actually, and if it's true that all fiends have one of these true names, right? That's something that you could potentially utilize if you could find a way to get a hold of that knowledge. You're going up against some powerful fiendish foes, but who would theoretically have true names that could be used to your advantage if you could find them.
But from what we know, they are like a closely guarded secret. Like Harmony just told her ours, and we've been traveling together for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And told her hers, I should say.
Not us, hers, yeah.
Yes, thank you. That was a hard one for me. What is my true name, Harmony? Tell me. So I don't know. We are going to a place. Well, maybe when we get to the city. I don't know. Yeah, I'll think about it more. Okay, it's good to know.
I had an idea that I wanted to discuss with the group about potential solution for Harmony's problem.
Oh, for the Discord, her family thing? Okay.
Yeah, you guys haven't had a good opportunity to sort of talk about that yet.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I think that there's no way that we can make it to Nessos, which is 3 layers down from where we were planning to go, because nobody goes there. And even if we went there, we'd have to deal with Asmodeus. And we're not going to get the better of the Prince of Hell in a fight or in a bargain. So, my idea was see if we can get some help from Glacia, the Lord of the Lair that we are going to, who is Asmodeus' daughter, and might be interested in helping remove some of his power.
Glacia is the Archdevil of which layer?
Malabolk, the 6th.
Okay.
Isn't she the one that helped you before?
She sure is.
I mean, it's worth a shot. We already have papers for it, so we have her protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a better idea than trying to get to Nessus.
What do you think, Harmony?
What exactly are we going to say to her?
Maybe that we need her help in a mutually beneficial deal? I don't know.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
And talk to her lawyer friend. Or whatever.
Yeah, I also had that up my sleeve too.
Thaddeus, when you sort of mention the idea of dealing with Glacia, it's imperceptible to anyone else, but you feel a sort of tingle in that claw, and you would maybe glance down, and you just see one of the little veins underneath the skin just pulses purple a little bit.
Cool.
Mm.
Very happy about that.
That's nice.
It's creepy.
Yeah, that stuff in the announcements about Moloch being our long-time traveling companion, I didn't write that. Ethan just says that to make me feel bad.
He is, though. He's been with Harmony for 5 years.
At least.
Our bestest friend, Moloch.
Okay. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or do while you're on the ship?
Yes. I'm just trying to remember what the spell is that I wanted to cast.
Well, what does it do? I might be able to help you remember.
Nick, do you remember?
No, it wasn't. I think we decided that commune wouldn't work, so we were looking.
Commune's not going to work.
But we were looking at something else.
Yeah.
Spells like that are contact other plane, or
What was it? Was it a paladin spell or something else?
It wasn't a paladin spell because commune is the only thing paladins get. Like
Right.
Some kind of divination spell. It must have been.
Oh, wait, no, it's not showing up in divination. Hold on.
Were we talking about it last week? I mean Sunday?
No. Nick and I were talking about it off stream.
Oh, here I am looking at my notes.
Right?
Basically, I mean, I don't know if Thaddeus is going to talk to me about his doubts about Asanahin's.
Oh yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to cast this unless you talk to me about it. But now is kind of the perfect time to use my 9th level spell.
I think it is something that since we're all opening up about like what are we gonna do, like I think I'll mention to the group that what was the angel's name?
Yale?
Yale, yeah. Something Yale mentioned was that like she asked me how sure I was that it was Asana who asked me to do this, and it gave me pause because I realized after she asked me that Asana had never asked me to do anything with this. I don't know why I want this sword. I don't know what I'm supposed to be taking it for, and so I wonder if there isn't something posing as Asana that made me go do this. But I've been trying to contact Asana, and it's just I don't know. My prayers to her are only so down here.
Right.
Maybe she put herself into the sword.
That was Lulu.
I don't see why commune couldn't be useful.
Well, the thing about the wording with commune is that it needs to be your god. But I found a spell that just says a god.
I see.
Was it contact other plane? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm looking through the list. Do you remember if it was a cleric spell?
You know what it might have been was it augury?
Maybe.
Augury is the one I think
No.
that just gives you like wheel or woe.
No, it wasn't augury.
Okay.
It was a pretty high level spell, but I can't remember now.
Contact other plane says, you mentally contact a demigod, the spirit of a long-dead sage, or some other mysterious entity from another plane. Contacting this extraplanar intelligence can strain you, blah, 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 blah. On a successful save, you ask the entity up to 5 questions. So it is similar, but there is a chance you will
It was like
go a little insane.
it was a foresight spell, I think.
A what spell?
Foresight? It was something about asking what's going to happen. Asking a deity what's going to happen.
Foresight.
It was not
Foresight is the one that Mara had cast on her
it's not
1 point by Leah.
That's the type of spell it is.
Oh, I see.
Foreknowledge tag spell, I think. Maybe. Although it's not coming up with a foreknowledge tag. Oh, this is frustrating. Well, maybe I'll have to save it for later.
Let me just peruse through the divination ones real quick, and if I don't find anything, we'll move on. But this is a good opportunity for this, so.
God, I thought I saved it somewhere, but I don't.
Did we talk about this in person, or was it
Divination?
I don't think it's divination.
Divination says your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or a god's servants. You can ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days.
That's it.
Woo!
Let me ring
that.
that.
Only a 4th level spell.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't like. I knew it wasn't super high, but it wasn't like a 2nd level spell or anything.
Yeah,
like
this
that
is the
either.
one that we talked about.
I thought it was delayed blast fireball for a second. It's on a hand! That seems like a very Harmony way to communicate.
Okay, now that we have the spell, let's jump back in. So Thaddeus communicated his doubt, and I'll say, well, if it's going to take us a day to get where we're going, I could try to see if I could contact her for you.
Your magic is pretty powerful. It might pierce through the veil.
There might be a reason that you're being blocked.
It's possible.
That wouldn't apply to me. We don't know. Shall we try it?
I'm game if you are.
Okay. Yay for loopholes in wording of spells. Okay, so I will cast Wish to cast Divination.
You, as you cast Wish every single time, as you have every other time you've used it, you feel the reality-bending magic swell to your fingertips, and you concentrate on how you want to release it and reshape your existence. And what do you utter? What's your wish?
I forgot my dice tray upstairs. Boo. I was going to roll for wild magic real quick. Okay, wild magic does not trigger. So I wish to ask Asanahin, what will happen when Thaddeus brings the Sword of Zariel back to Allendal?
Okay. You release the magic, and you instantly feel your environment itself begin to press onto you. Like you feel the darkness, because I mentioned this plane is sort of like a perpetual twilight. You feel the darkness close in on you a little bit, and the lights from the auroras above your head seem to dim and flicker. Even the rest of you standing on the deck of the boat also sense the flickering of the auroras and the encroaching of the darkness as well. The nature of what Harmony is attempting to do, piercing beyond the veil of the Nine Hells, is just that much. I'm sorry, my bird. It's that much of a powerful thing that it is shaking this plane to its roots. But Harmony, as all of this sort of comes to a crescendo, the darkness presses in on you harder and harder, and the flickering gets more and more intense. You feel a connection forged there. It's small, it's weak, but there's a connection. And you just hear a voice in your head that says, "I'm sorry, my child. I don't have the time to tell you." And the voice crackles out, but it is replaced by the darkness encompassing you entirely. This is the point where what Harmony perceives and the rest of the group perceives begins to differ. Because to the rest of you, the darkness is still oppressing, and the auroras seem to still be flickering, and lightning is still crackling above. But to Harmony, everything goes completely dark. But then you find yourself standing on a hill, a grassy hill. And it's sort of looking over a valley, and from across the valley in the distance you can see the city that you recognize very well. It's Farendel, right? It's this multi-tiered steel-walled city that you would recognize at anywhere at this point based on the time that you spent there. And you're looking up at a starry night above the city. And one by one, the stars in the sky begin to wink out. And you're watching as the night sky just becomes this dark expanse with only a single full moon floating above the city. And the moon is big. It is large. It's almost unnaturally large. But then as the last star winks out around it, you watch as you almost hear it, even though the distance must be incredible. A crack begins to form in the center of the moon, and it tears wider and wider and wider until it looks as if the moon itself is splitting in half. And as it does so, tendrils of darkness pour out from the moon and just begin to stretch down towards the earth. And then your vision ends.
Well, fuck. All right. I will look at Thaddeus.
Throw it into the sticks, Thaddeus.
Gosh, I don't know how to say this, but it may not be a good idea to bring that thing home.
Why?
Well, your goddess, she couldn't give me a clear answer, but she showed me what would happen, and it was not pretty. And I'll explain the sight that I saw.
But is that going to happen because I bring the sword back, or is that why I need the sword?
I don't know. That's just what's going to happen when you bring it back. I can, we could hide it. I think I could figure out how to hide it in another plane, and then we can go back and we can figure out then whether you need it for that or whether having it would make that happen.
Maybe we could hide it in Sigil for a short time.
In Sigil, it wouldn't be immediately accessible, but I have a way to make it immediately accessible.
Okay.
I'll think about it. I need it for the time being. I don't want to part with it while we're still in the hells. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But thank you for looking into it.
Yeah. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
Okay. A little while after this conversation takes place, the group of you sort of set about going about your individual tasks and things on the boat. Mara, I think probably you, because you're up by the steering wheel with Orgrix, you start to notice off a little ways in the distance, there's some things floating in the water, and it's tough to make out what they are at first, but I think you'd spot them probably.
Great. Okay, so with my glowing eyes, right? Okay. So I'll call to Zant to get his scope out to look.
All right. Yep. I'll come up there and we'll take a look together. See what we see.
Sharing a spyglass.
Sure. That's right. Yeah. As they say.
It's cannon.
No, that's a cannon. Point to the cannons on the ship.
There's no cannons on the ship.
Point to the ballista on the ship.
There you go. You look through your scope, and once you have sort of the magnified vision from the scope, you can see that the Drowning Kiss is about to sail into another field, basically a field of devilish bodies that are just floating in the Styx and the surrounding ocean. And looking through the spyglass, trying to find the end of it, you can't. It is just this endless field of devilish bodies floating in the water. But looking through the spyglass, the one thing you do spot is coming towards you, there is a barge going the other direction, and it seems to be going slowly, and occasionally it will stop, and you watch as like a net is cast overboard, and one of those devilish bodies is hauled up onto the deck. And it looks like there are a group of devils on board that are working that task.
What are they doing with these bodies?
They seem to be sorting them.
So they're just like piling them on this barge?
Like by size?
Like as you watch for a little while, sort of.
Okay.
As you watch for a little while and draw slowly closer, you see that they do one of two things first with the bodies. They either haul them below deck or kick them overboard. And if you make an insight check, I'll tell you why they're making the distinction there.
Sure. That's... I got a 14 on insight.
A 14?
Yeah. What did you get, Melissa?
Insight. 7 plus 15.
15? Okay. I think probably together, working together, the two of you would realize that though it's really, really imperceptible at this distance, looking through the scope, one of you maybe spots a small sign of it, and then the other can confirm it. They're picking the devils out of the water, and then if one of them, if they find like any signs of life, minuscule or not, they're taking them below deck, and if they're dead, they kick them back off.
Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot rarer that they find a sign of life and take it below deck than it is that they kick one back off.
Okay, well, I'll ask Orgrex, be like, what's going on up there? Is this something we need to avoid?
Orgrex
Dangerous
sort of
company?
looks and says, "Let me see through that glass."
Okay, and I'll hand him the scope.
And he takes a look and he says, "Yep, that's a Styx devil."
What's a Styx devil?
Well, technical terms on Nizu, but most people call them Styx devils. And he hands you back the spyglass and he says, "See the really squat one in the decadent robes?" And now that he's pointing it out, you can see there is one devil amidst all of the living ones that are seemingly performing this task. It's got like green, slimy-looking skin, and it's really kind of like it's really short for a devil. Like a lot of them tend to have like bigger, bulky, imposing forms, but this one's just kind of like short and quite wide. And it almost like it has like 8 chins, basically. It almost doesn't have a neck, but it has this mouth that stretches all the way like across its massive face.
Chin.
Yep. And it's wearing these sort of like over decorative purple and gold and like silver robes, and it's got rings on all its fingers and things like that. And it seems to be leading the rest of the devils. And Orgric says, "Yeah, that one's a Styx devil. Foolish things think they own the Styx, but truth is that's our domain." He points to himself.
Okay. So, friendly, not friendly? Neutral? Can we just pass by?
Kind of like does the thing where he's like
Okay.
weighing the options. They can be bullies, but they can also be reasonable. They're intelligent. It depends on the disposition, what they've been tasked with. Who knows? He kind of gives a shrug.
What do you want to do?
Well, if they've seen us, they're going to stop us, and it'd be better that than get on its bad side.
All right. Well, you've seen us fight. Do we are they a match for us? Should we negotiate peacefully?
Kind of shrugs and says, "Depends what they've got below decks."
How big is the barge roughly?
It's quite large.
Okay. Like bigger than our ship?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
It's probably 3 or 4 times your ship.
I see. Okay. Well, I'll let Thaddeus and Harmony know that we have potentially this barge coming. What's going on? Otherwise, since there's such a need for it, I'm gonna spend, if we have time, the rest of the time fashioning another spyglass, if possible.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to share with Mara.
I don't mind sharing. It's just like there's so many times where we need it.
I thought I had my own spyglass.
Well, then why did you need mine?
Navigator 2s, because I thought your scope was better than mine.
Okay.
4 eyes are better than 2. I guess 2 with the scope.
Okay. Anyways. Yeah, so I guess we'll just keep sailing on unless someone else wants to do something different.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about the amnesia. I figure that our passage marks failed us with Zariel. They failed us with the last encounter. But they've got to be good for something.
I know, right?
Either that, or it's a really big con.
Yeah, we're going back to Sigil. We're going to file complaints to this office.
Get our money back.
That's right.
Okay, so sure enough, as the boats get closer, one of the devils on the other one begins to sort of signal at you, trying to convey for you to stop. And Orgrix kind of looks to you for direction. We stopping or we blowing past these guys?
I mean, I feel like it's at his discretion, right?
Group?
You're the ones paying me. You tell me what to do.
I mean, we don't really...
Look, if I get killed, I'm just gonna reform back on my home plane. It's no big deal. It's just what we do. But it's your lives here. You're calling the shots.
I'm all for stopping, personally.
Yeah, let's find out what they want.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. As the ships kind of then pull up side by side and slow down to a halt, a gangplank is dropped from the larger ship down onto yours. A carpet is rolled down it,
Okay.
like this purple carpet,
Great.
and this sort of this greenish slimy figure that I described strolls down the plank, sort of flanked on either side by various ice devils and things like that, and arrives on your deck and sort of sizing the group of you up, just says, "Well, well, well. What do we have here? Bunch of mortals in hell."
I don't remember inviting you on my ship, sir.
"I don't remember inviting you into our plane." Laughs at his own joke.
Is there something you need to search? Is there a reason you're boarding?
He looks at you and says, "You the leader? You the boss?
Yes.
All right, I'll talk to you." He just says,
My ship.
"Where'd you come from? Where are you going? What's your business here?"
You can see Mara's veins popping.
Got my hand on my whip.
Yeah.
And he kind of like has indicated for the ice devils to just like fan out around the ship a little bit, and they're just kind of like walking around poking things with these icy spears.
Yeah. Came from Avernus, headed to Malibol, passing through on the way.
And he looks down at your arm, and he looks down at everyone else's arms. He says, "I can see you've got the papers, so that's all in order." And he just kind of...
I'd like to keep an eye on the ice devils.
Okay. They're not up to
If they're looking for
anything.
anything specific.
No, they're just kind of like... They're just poking around.
Okay.
It almost looks like more of an intimidation tactic than anything. Like, it's very idle.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm gonna tell Pinky to go do his work.
Oh yeah? What is his work?
To kind of mingle around and see what he can find.
Do you want Pinky to go across the ship onto the other one? Oh, okay.
No, just check out their persons.
Okay. Let's see. What is Pinky's? Roll a stealth check for Pinky.
Where is Pinky's stats?
Pinky gets a... Oops, that's a single cranium rat. We need the swarm.
Yeah, I have it here. Here it is. AC 12, HP 36, speed 30. I don't really have anything other than that on here. But I rolled a 13, so...
So
13 plus 2 to that. So 15. Let's see what an omens it has for passive perception. Okay. The creature that you're dealing with sees the rats kind of scurrying around the devils and like trying to get into their stuff. And he's got this cane that he's holding. It's like this. It's made of bone at the bottom, and then it is like attached to a gold like orb at the top. He just kind of holds that in one hand, and he slams it down on the ground repeatedly, and says to you, Mara, "Hey, you gonna get your pets under control? They're bothering my guys."
They're just sniffing around, just kind of protecting the boat. That's their job.
Right, well, I'm watching them. And then he turns back to Thaddeus and says, "Listen, your papers are in order. As long as I know what business you've got on Stygia, you're clear to go as far as I'm concerned."
Well, I just told you we're passing through on the way to Malibol.
"No stops?"
We may stop. We may visit a ice devil named Bazaar.
He kind of like scratches one of his many chins. "Can't say I've heard of the guy. Well, let me just say, and he kind of like starts like wiping his hands off.
Is that true? I'll make an insight check. Has he heard of Basif?
Oh, sure. Yeah, roll an insight check.
Okay.
I also want to make an insight check, but for something else.
Okay.
Well, Thaddeus' advantage is of no use here because he gets an 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird. It's kind of hard to tell because like he says it and then he like laughs at himself, and it's unclear why he's laughing. Whether he's like lying to you or like he just for some reason sees something funny that you don't. I don't know. He's just a weird creature.
Okay.
Yeah. Harmony, what's your insight check?
I just want to see if the reason that he says he's here is actually the reason he's here. Like,
That's kind of what I was going to insight as
I
well.
want to know where we're going, and is
Okay.
it just like a perimeter check, or does he have an ulterior motive?
Sure.
I think that's a 16.
I got a natural 20,
16.
which is a
Um,
28.
Zach, were you trying to figure out something different?
So
Or
it was along the same lines, like what's his station, I guess, but it's kind of the same thing as what Kay was describing with like, is he actually on like official duty that he needs to know what we're doing, or like?
Okay. You get two different realizations then from that, I think. We'll start with Zach. With your natural 20, what you'd realize was now that you've seen like how many devils he actually has under his control, there's not that many. And he seems to be doing kind of like the task that they're out here doing is kind of grunt work. It doesn't seem that important, right? I mean, they're just picking up bodies. So your insight with that check would be that either he's not super important or he's being punished for something. He probably doesn't necessarily have the authority to like detain you even if he wanted to. That would be your insight. Harmony, what you would realize as to his motivation, the guy just seems really bored, maybe a little lonely. He was just looking for something to break up the monotony. And as he's like wrapping up the conversation with Thaddeus, you can tell that he's itching for the conversation to go on a little bit longer, but he like doesn't have any pretense for it.
I'll step up then.
Yeah.
And say, why are you fishing people out of the sticks? You looking for some new lackeys?
And he sort of looks at you with a little bit of surprise and says, "Heh, little tiefling. That's cute."
Fat devil. That's really cute too.
We're on cleanup duty out here. We're separating the debtors from the befuddled. He kind of laughs at that. Yeah. He says he's separating the dead ones from the befuddled, though. That's how he works.
Befuddled. Okay.
It sounds like real boring work.
He gives you another one of those like real creepy wide smiles, and you can see that all of his teeth are pointed, kind of like shark's teeth. And he says, "It's not exciting, but it's better than the alternatives."
Which is what?
And he kind of widens his eyes and just says, "Oh, you haven't heard?
Well,
you don't know? You said you've got no stops, so I wasn't gonna warn you, but
this is your first time in Stygia. Lay it on.
Oh, is that so? First
Yeah.
timers, excellent. How's your stay in hell?
Oh, could be better.
Unheated.
That's good. Very good.
What you'd expect.
It's nothing like the brochures.
He gets. You can see his grin gets broader and broader each time you say
It's
you're
not
having a
nice
horrible
like
time in hell.
ice. Slam it on the ground.
Kind of shakes his head.
Bad
Like that, we can have
advertising.
some side work when we get back to make better brochures.
Marketing department. Yeah, your marketing department needs work. But what's this thing?
All the other devils are, well, most of them are defending Tantlin right now. It's under siege.
Tantlin's under siege.
And it's better here picking up the
course
dummies
it is.
than back at the city
From
being murdered, permanently. A lot of openings gonna open up when I'm back. A lot of opens.
Is that from the Demon Lord incursion?
Oh yeah. Worst incursion of demons in thousands of years.
Oh boy. Well, thanks for the warning.
Of course it is.
Yeah, if you were just gonna, if you weren't passing through, I was gonna say you should steer clear entirely. But since you're just straight on till Malbolg, you'll be fine. Malbolg's it's no Phlegethos, so have fun.
Yeah, we are prepared for more hellish experiences in hell.
That's good. That's very good. Well, everything seems to be in order here, unless there's and he kind of gets this twinkle in his oily looking eyes. Unless there's anything I can be of service to you for, I pride myself on knowing a thing or two.
And yet you don't know Bazith.
But he kind of shakes his head and says, "You can't know every no-name devil on the plane, am I right?"
So that's fair. What kinds of things are you knowledgeable in then?
This and that. I've been in the system for a long time.
In the system.
It's all a big system.
He
Maybe
sounds like one of the bureaucrats
um
from the interplanar, I mean.
what's the
Oh
name?
no, we don't want him.
The Pit Fiend?
We didn't get a name for him, did we?
You did get a
Oh, we
name,
did. Okay.
actually. Let me find it in my notes. You learned. I'll refresh your memories. You learned a few things from Seal. Here we go. There's a large trade city called Tantlin, situated on the River Styx. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, after the current Duke of Hell, that being Levistus, rose to power, the city was sort of thrown into anarchy, uncharacteristic of the Hells. And a mad pit fiend named Gerar, the Shatterer, encouraged the devil residents of the city to sort of fight for their positions within the power structure. But that all came to a climax when Levistus reinserted his control over the city, and his some wizards in his employ worked a powerful spell that froze Gerar solid in the middle of the streets, and then in sort of a final act of ironic dominance, Levistus shattered Gerar, the Shatterer, into hundreds of pieces. So that was, I think, what you learned.
Right. Gerar?
Gerar.
Yeah. And the piece we're looking for is his heart.
Yes.
Or a piece of his heart?
No,
Do we
I
wanna
think it's a piece of him that is his heart.
Okay.
How much do you know about the old what do they call it? Arch devil? Gerar?
Well, Gerar was no archdevil.
Well, he's a pit fiend. But he was the leader?
Well, yeah, she was a ruler of Tantlin at one point. Yeah. Those were good days. Those were fun days.
Until she got frozen and shattered.
Frozen and shattered. Into tiny little specks all across the streets.
How common is it to find these little specks?
Kind of like scratches a different chin.
Ooh.
Thinks about it.
And
Not
are
that
there-
common.
Well, it's a trading town, right? Are there people we can contact that deal in shard trading?
I thought you guys were just passing through. interested in a little more? Doing a little
Could never
side
pass up
business
a
in
good
Tantlin?
deal.
Nope.
Well,
Say no to a little bit of coin on the way.
Summon the demons, Kay.
your microphone just went crazy there. For a
Yeah,
second.
you were doing another ritual.
God damn it!
Oh, that's what came out of it. That's what the spell that you cast.
I am so sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get a new headset for next time. I was saying,
Yeah, you never answered my question.
your question?
Yeah, since it's a trade town, are there dealers in shards? People must collect stuff like that.
Right. He says, as it just so happens, I do know a thing or two about a shard. An important shard. A big chunk.
A heart?
And his eyes go wide and he says, so you're in the know too. Yeah. Some rumors cropped up recently. I heard about them just before I got put on an assignment.
Never
I could tell you.
Tiefling.
I could tell you.
How much would it cost?
And he just kind of, he scratches another one of his, a different chin, like one of the 8 that he's got.
He's only have 4 left before it starts repeating. Also, I'm going to roll insight on his I have information
Okay, sure.
thing. I got another natural 20.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah, he's being sincere, but he wants something out of it.
Okay.
He just looks at Harmony and says, "What are you willing to offer?"
I'll dig in my pocket and I'll pull out one soul coin and hold it out. A soy coin.
Soy coin. I hear they're they've got less lactose in them, you know.
There it is.
What'll this get me?
I'll give you a place to start.
Thaddeus will take one out too and add it to the pile.
He kind of eyes the two and says, "I'll give you an introduction and a place to start."
Well, let's have that.
You've got a deal. And he reaches out a hand, and as he does so, for the first time, the group of you kind of see his back because his shoulder turns, and he has a pair of wings on his back, but they're way too tiny for his body. They're so small.
They're not cool like Thaddeus's wings.
No, they're the tiniest little bat wings on this really.
I'd give him a soul coin if he'd fly for us.
Yeah, they're really small. I'll show you guys art for him later, but they're way too small. Not quite that small, but they're definitely not big enough. He shakes your hand and says, "Right, well, I know I said avoid Tantlin, but if you're going after a shard, the only one I know about, place to start, is in Tantlin. There's I don't know, what's the mortal term? What do you guys call them? It's a watering hole. One of the few that serves, stuff you mortals like.
Tavern?
There's the word." And he just kind of it seems to have it's just not something that's in his vocabulary because the devils they don't have taverns. Where's the name that I gave this place? There it is. He says, called the Frozen Tap. You tell the proprietor of the Frozen Tap that what's this guy's name? Zutaz sent you. He'll hook you up.
Okay, Zutaz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was the tavern's name again?
The Frozen Tap.
Frozen Tap.
Yep.
Okay. And do you know what part of the city this tavern is? North, south, east, west?
Well, I figured-
Says that's where all the mortal creatures live, in the outer city.
Okay.
Yeah, you tell the proprietor that I sent you. You tell him what you're looking for, and he'll point you in the right direction.
Sure hope your introduction's a good one.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm true to my word. He kind of sizes the group of you up and says, "Yeah, maybe I'll see you earn that shard." Well, I've got a job. Best be going.
Well, thank you for your
Takes
visit.
his 2 soul coins.
Nice doing business with you.
And you two, stay out of the water. Don't become befuddled like these dummies. And points up to the ship, and you can see that one of the devils that he hauled out of the water has wandered up out of the cargo hold, and it's clearly suffering one of the mind-altering effects of the river Styx. That's what he means by the befuddled. And he has to have some of his ice devils rush up and kind of restrain that devil and bring it back under decks.
Happy fishing.
Good one. And don't die at Tantlin. I want to see you claim that shard. I do. I really do.
You'll see it.
And the plank is taken back up. And slowly but surely, the barge begins to pull away from the drowning kiss.
Oh, got a lead.
No, it was worth stopping.
Yeah, all we have
Even
to do now is get to Tantlin, which is under demonic siege.
Indeed.
And 2 soul coins thinner to boot.
I'm happy to be rid of mine.
I still have one.
Remember that when you picked up the soul coins, there was like that heavy weight, just the sort of philosophical weight of what you were carrying. As soon as you get rid of one of those, you are like 1,000 pounds lighter, it feels like. There's just, it's like a pressure that was on your head for as long as you've been carrying it is just lifted, and you'd grown used to it, but as soon as it's gone, you just instantly feel much better.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to be sailing into a city that's under siege, I think we should all take a rest.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Orgrix has got you sailing again. But he sort of looks down to the group of you and says, if we're sailing into a city that's under siege, do we have a plan? Do we need a plan? Am I just going straight in?
Don't get killed.
You may want to stop a ways before the city, and we'll take Lulu in the rest of the way.
Kind of nods and says, okay, sure. You guys are the bosses. I'll get us close.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
And then if you guys want to take a rest, are you going to... there's not too much to watch out for. You're just kind of sailing through this like field of bodies that the Omnizu was cleaning up. But if you want to keep a watch, let me know who's watching, I guess.
I mean, does somebody have to stand at the prow of the ship and kind of move bodies out of the way, or we'll go boom, boom, boom?
No.
Yeah.
The Drowning Kiss will just plow through them.
I didn't take a watch last time, so I'll take the first one this time.
Okay. In that case, Thaddeus, as everyone kind of settles in to rest, the watch it's an uneventful one, but there's one thing that does happen, which is at one point a dark shadow is cast over the boat, and you look to its source, and you notice that to the right side of the ship, there is a huge dorsal fin rising up out of the water, like maybe a 20-foot tall dorsal fin that just rises up next to the boat, and then dips back down.
Okay.
Yep. But other than that, everything goes uneventful.
Okay. I'm taking some time
When
to prepare some different spells because I don't want all the stuff that's not going to be useful in combat.
That's probably a good idea. When he sees the dorsal fin, Orgrix just kind of like, I think he would actually shout at it. Like he would just run to the side of the boat and go, "Shoo! Shoo! Get away, you dumb shark! Shoo!" And the thing that's when it dips back down.
Okay.
But then, whoever takes up the next watch, your watch would be largely uneventful, I think. It's probably only the person who takes the last watch who would notice something. So let me know who that would be. But other than that, yes, everyone gets a nice rest. Oh, Mara's going to take it?
Okay, I will.
Sure.
Is that what you said?
Okay.
Okay. Mara, it's on your watch towards the very end of it. You've basically been sailing through this field of bodies the entire time. There's so many bodies. But it's on your watch at the very end that you spot a dull orange glow on the horizon. Just around the time when you'd want to wake everyone up.
Orgrix, you see that?
I see it. What it is, I don't know.
It looks like maybe something's on fire.
Things don't burn when the whole world's made of water and ice. Not usually, anyways.
Or somebody's having a really fun party.
Could be.
Okay, so if it's time, I'll go wake everybody up.
Good morning!
Hey.
Hello!
Oh, good morning.
Hello!
What our viewers can't see is that Kay's baby has come to say hello.
We have lots of extras on this one today.
I know. And Zach's baby has been here for a while. That's why I'm distracted.
I know.
Sorry, guys. I was sitting here for literally like 3 minutes making her wave, and nobody was looking at my camera. I was like, I have to say something so my screen gets bigger.
Yep.
Blitz, are you the star of the show?
Your picture is kind of darker anyway.
Yeah, it's the bad lighting in here.
So, once we all wake up and go see, is that thing in the direction of the town or the city?
Yeah, it's in the direction that you're heading, for sure.
Okay, so has to do with that. Maybe some magics or something at place.
Sorry, can you repeat what we saw?
Mara spotted an orange glow on the horizon, like a dull orange glow, which very much stands out against the dark twilight sky of the rest of the plane. The twilight has been constant, by the way. There's no rising and setting of suns or moons or anything like that. Just sort of darkness lit by these dim auroras, which slowly shift colors, and then flashes of lightning.
Okay.
Was that a long rest on the sticks or a long rest in Stygia?
Good point. That was a long rest in Stygia. So I guess at the end of the long rest, I need the group of you to make 2 rolls here. One of them
You're welcome.
is
Thank you.
a wisdom saving throw, and the other one is a constitution saving throw. On the constitution save, Harmony and Thaddeus will have advantage. Oh, and Mara, because you put on your snowy boots.
Do I also have advantage then?
Bonus for these?
Sorry, a couple people were talking. What?
Do we get Thaddeus's bonus for these?
The wisdom one,
No.
you don't. I don't know about the Constitution one.
I'll say the Constitution one, yes, because it's sort of. Yeah, I'll say for the Constitution one, yes. It's a little different.
Is everybody who has the warm clothing on get it? Is that
Mara's boots are magic. They give her cold resistance.
okay?
Your warm clothing would help in a place that was like naturally cold. This place has a supernatural cold to it.
I think you're the only person party who doesn't have cold resistance.
I think so. Okay.
All right.
I'm ready with my check.
I'm gonna do
All right, so let's go through the wisdom one first.
Okay.
So Harmony,
Went with my keyboard.
My wisdom saving throw.
what was that?
I'm in a Tides of Chaos. My wisdom
Oh,
saving
okay, sounds good. Start off with it.
Oh no!
Because I rolled a 1.
Yikes.
Oh, that's much better. Is it me first?
Yep, you first.
Oh, sorry. So that's a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So you are fine. Then Mara,
28.
just fine.
Jeez.
Thaddeus?
That's a 12.
Ah, okay. I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
And Zant?
Dirty 20.
All right, you're fine too.
Daddy says a good whiz save. I just rolled a 4 on die.
Oof.
Then I'll do my con save.
Okay. And then, yeah, the con save will go back to Harmony first.
If I can get this motherfucker unmuted. Okay. Con save 21.
21. Where did this go? My notes. There's too much.
Sorry, did you say we get Thaddeus bonus for the con
We
save?
do.
Yes. So that's
20. What is it? Plus 5?
Mhm.
I have to ask every time. Then it's 26.
It's always +5.
all right.
Yeah.
So you're
I did
perfectly
it
fine.
backwards.
No
My
problems for
wisdom.
Harmony. Your devilish endurance sees you through, and the cold does not get to you this time.
My
Thaddeus,
institution, you mean?
that's the one.
Thaddeus got a 25.
All right, you're also fine. Mara,
I did it backwards. I gave you my con save throw for my wisdom. The wisdom was 19.
you're still above the DC, so you're fine.
Okay. And then the con was 28.
So
'cause
that's
of the
fine too.
advantage. Okay.
And Zant,
Dirty 21.
dirty 21. Okay, so the cold gets to you.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
You feel it, but you're not like you manage to force of will, your trained body resist the effects of the extreme weather.
Oh, I thought it was like higher than it. I was like, oh
Nope.
shoot.
You're good.
You scared
Everyone's
me.
good. Phew.
All right.
So yeah, all of you wake up feeling rested, and you see the glowing on the horizon that Mara spotted.
Does it look like fire?
It could be. It does kind of have like a flickering to it.
Play 20 questions with this spectacle.
How far?
I mean,
how far off in the distance do we think it is?
I'm
I
guessing
just-
it's in the city.
as the group of you start talking about it and trying to guess the distance, Orgrix pipes up and says, "Oh, just a couple miles off now, and it looks like that is Tantlin."
Well, Tantlin's on fire.
Or
Should I
there's
pull over and stop here?
That might be best.
Yeah.
Lulu.
You take a minute to summon up Lulu.
Yeah. Well, I figured
Uh,
Lulu never went away because it's a high level spell and takes 10 minutes to cast. So if
Oh,
Lulu's
okay.
around, then Lulu's around.
So she's just in her tiny form then.
Yeah.
But Lulu comes flitting up from wherever she was resting, beating her little elephant wings. Yes. Is it time to fly?
We need a ride over there. And Thaddeus points over to the burning city.
Should
Ooh,
I cast
glowy.
seeming?
What?
Well, I don't know if flying into a city under siege, looking like a bunch of, mortals. I don't know if that's such a good idea, but I could cast seeming on us and maybe make us look like a bunch of ice devils or something.
I think they're under siege from demons, not humans.
I know,
Well-
but still.
Can we do pass without a trace to get to the tavern?
Once we get there,
I
probably.
mean, it would make us harder to see, but it wouldn't make us invisible.
Yeah. I don't know if we need cover or disguises.
I'd save your.
I
I think
do-
there's
magic.
too much going on.
I'm a little tired of being stared at everywhere we go, like,
I think
bunch
they
of
have bigger
mortals
things to
in
worry
the
about than us. At least that's how I feel.
I mean,
I just thought we'd be less of a target if we looked like we
Well,
looked.
the other thing is once we get closer and closer, we can determine how risky it is to, and retreat if we need to, and disguise ourselves.
Okay.
So we can at least take a look first to see if we think it's worthwhile.
It was just an idea.
Yeah, and I think we can play on that once we get closer and see what's actually going down. But remember, we do need to fly low.
Right. We need
Yep.
to stick as close to the sticks as possible.
Let's head for
Or
the
is it
tavern.
just is it the sticks or is it just close to the water?
Close to the water level.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the lightning will strike us down if we don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use a drink.
I kind of want to test that lightning strike thing.
We're
Like-
not gonna do it today.
No, not like
Yeah.
I meant like throwing a rock or something,
Oh,
or like tossing a stone at different heights, like 2 or 3 stones, and seeing if one of them gets stricken
struck.
out of the sky. One of those things.
So you throw a stone up in the air.
Yeah, sure.
Flops
into
the
the
water. No, just flops into the water.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So maybe it's just living things then. Okay. Well,
All right. In that case, Orgrix pulls over the Drowning Kiss onto one of the nearby icebergs.
parallel
Kind
parks.
of, climbs up onto the iceberg. Looks at the group of you. And says, "So what? Am I waiting here?
I guess.
Contract over? What's the deal?"
It's not over.
Well, we still need to get to it.
I'll see you twice.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh,
We'll
so they get a
use-
Melbog.
We'll send to you. Harmony's got a sending stone. We'll send to you once.
I have a standing stone, but I need to use it to contact Moloch when we're ready to go.
You think that's gonna be today?
Well, the sticks doesn't go down into the next layer, does it?
Orgrix shakes his head.
So
What about my ship too? Do I leave it in his
No.
care?
you can shrink it and we can take it with us.
And we're just gonna leave this guy out on a iceberg?
He has ways. I'm sure he can.
He kind of nods confidently and says, "I have ways."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess if we're not going further down the sticks.
It's an app. It tells you which roads to avoid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we've got a flying elephant.
Yeah.
Stick
And-
ways.
So as far as like travel while we're here in Stygia, we don't need to be on the sticks anymore, right?
I agree.
So
Okay.
Yeah, this might be the end for this Orgrix.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure not knowing anything about you.
Mhm.
Hope we never meet again. He goes around shaking hands.
Likewise.
when he comes to shake my hand, I'm like, oh no, don't do that, don't do that.
Gives you a little nod and says, "I can respect that." And just kind of pulls his hood up over his head, the little stuffed horns peeking out from the sides, and begins to walk inward up the glacier towards
Thanks
some
for not
unknown location.
crashing my ship.
He kind of, as he's leaving, he holds up a hand and kind of waves at you and says, "Couldn't if I tried." and then he's gone in a flurry of snow.
So we'll speak the command word and give Mara her ship back.
Yep.
We shrink the ship.
Okay. As you guys are standing on the iceberg, Lulu assumes her ginormous form, the large woolly mammoth with the wings poking out of the back. Zant, as you sort of, are like surveying your landscape and the direction that you're headed, you're now close enough that you can see a little bit more detail about this orange glow on the horizon. And what you see is definitely a city. The city is ablaze with the fires of war. So the orange glow you saw was certainly fire. What under other circumstances would probably have been a rather beautiful city, but it seems to be carved either entirely from ice or sculpted from ice in some way, and is situated atop a snowy iceberg with a harbor adjacent to it and the river Styx, has devolved into a scene of horror and chaos. And you can see, as you look through your spyglass, you can make out the forms of thousands of creatures just blotting out the water, land, and sky surrounding the city, which is illuminated by constant lightning flashes and the dull glow of the flames. You can make out organized battalions of devils and large infernal war machines mounting a defense against this incursion on the city's outermost walls. But you can already see that there are breaches in the many different places in the walls, and demons are flooding into the streets from the harbor itself.
Is it clear which side is winning?
Right now, it looks like the demons.
Okay. Is there any side of this demon lord?
Roll a perception check.
Sure. That is a 18 plus 8. It's 26.
You don't see anything in particular from here. What you do notice is that it's not just devils and demons that are fighting, actually. It seems as if every now and again you'll spot, like near the harbor walls of the city, like the walls that line the harbor, a massive tentacle will reach out of the water and like slam against the wall and just crush a section of the ice defenses there. Or
is it like indiscriminate, or is it like...
Yeah, I mean, all you can tell is that it's like this tendril, and it must be huge for you to spot it at this distance.
Yeah.
The other thing you'll see is that the devils have fighting on their side what looks to be dragons in the sky. They're eating up a lot of like lightning strikes, actually, because they're not heeding the plane's rules, and they're being struck by lightning as they're fighting. Mm-hmm. And also, they seem to have either giants or ogres or something like that are helping them defend the city.
Okay. This is a very interesting battle that we're going to be walking into.
Or flying around?
Or, yes. And not getting zapped.
Does it look like there's a way to get into the city without engaging these troops?
It looks like a hellscape.
Well, that's everywhere we've been so far since we came here.
I think there's enough chaos going around that it's probably just a coin flip if it's safe or not.
I think if we push them in the battle, they'll owe us some favors. Might give us a good head start.
Oh, you want to take sides? You want to try and help them out?
Sure.
Huh.
I mean, we could.
We could try. We do have the Archdevil's favor as far as, or protection, I should say. So
the devils can't hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously have a side that we're helping then. Yeah. Okay.
If we can
try and pitch it that way.
If we can turn the tide in the devil's favor, then the city will return to normal, and we can go about our business there.
And we might even get some help in our agenda.
It's true.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Mara votes to whip him into shape.
All right, we're doing this.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So you saddle up on Lulu's back. And the group of you begin to fly across the ocean, staying as low to it as Lulu can without sort of like dragging her massive mammoth legs in the ocean itself. And as you get closer and closer to the city, more and more of you begin to perceive the hellscape that Zant described. And it is only getting worse. The outer walls of the city seem to be crumbling almost wholesale now, under the barrage of these tentacles and things that whip up from the water, and also the demons that are just clawing at them. And you can see there's like fireballs being hurled every which way. And the horde of demons itself is unending. They are like pouring out of the ocean itself, and climbing up the walls, climbing through holes in the walls into the streets, and they're just running the city entirely. The devils have this like organized defense, but it's just no match for the sheer numbers of demons that there are.
Wow.
And as you get to sort of the edge of where you get to a point where you're maybe like a mile out from, maybe not a mile, like a couple thousand feet out from the back edge of the demon's force, where you can see they're like, at this point you have a very clear view of the city, and you can see that the ogres or giants that Zant perceived earlier, they're actually frost giants wearing these like collars on their necks, and they seem to be coerced into fighting with the devils. And the dragons that are flying around and sort of eating up the lightning strikes and otherwise picking up demons, like tossing them into the sticks and things like that, all seem to be these large white dragons. And they are also wearing these collars around their necks. But the scene that draws your attention as you get within acting distance of this battle is the water in the middle of the harbor, which begins to sort of bubble and broil as something from within it, underneath the dark waves, begins to rise upward. And it rises up towards the sky, almost seemingly unending. It's this dark shape, almost like a shadow, that water just cascades down off the back of. And finally it stands maybe 30 or 40 feet above the waterline, this huge form. And it sort of rolls back these two heads, which at this distance are sort of illuminated by a flash of lightning. You can see that they're ape-like, but they have these wicked pointed teeth. It tilts back these two heads and lets out a roar that shakes even Lulu as she is sort of flying towards this. It's like a pulse, a shockwave outward that sort of shakes her flight, and she gets a little bit wobbly for a second. And as you watch this creature, it brings up from under the water a massive oily tentacle, which it raises up towards the sky before turning its burning red eyes, all four of them, onto the city and begins just absolutely laying waste to everything in its path, demons and devils alike. What do you want to do?
So how big is that creature in like a size comparison?
It's only its torso is out of the water right now, but it's standing like 30, 40 feet above the water line.
Okay.
You guys
That's
still
pretty
want
tall.
to fight about?
And as you watch, it just seems to be getting angrier and angrier, and it, like these, like pulsing, fiery energies seem to ripple through its muscles. You can see that it, like, it almost seems to be, like it has fire within its body that you can see blazing in its mouth and in its eyes, and in the various veins of its muscles.
Is that the proclaimed demon lord?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay.
I think
Um,
Thaddeus says, That's the thing that Zariel thought that she could use his sword to kill. But I think we're better than her. Let's see if we can do it.
Oh my
Do you want to go straight into this thing, or do you want to?
Well,
you know.
if that's the demon lord that's leading the demon attack, if we cut off the head, right?
Exactly.
Or both of them?
Or,
Oh
know,
boy.
both of them.
Ah!
All right. If that's what you guys want to do, we can jump into that.
Better if we stay on Lulu, or
Well,
where are we going to pitch this battle from?
I'm staying on Lulu.
Lulu just kind of like, her trumpet comes up and she's like, "What's the plan? We taking this thing on or what? Looks bad."
We sure are, Lulu.
I could also stay on
She
Lulu if we
trumpets
wanted.
and sparkles come out.
Yeah, Mara, you could always just fly over there yourself.
Yeah, I can cast fly. Okay.
Then we're doing this.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right. So is the approach just kind of a head-on one, or are you going to try and sneak up to it, or what's the plan?
Should I try to banish it before we even engage with it?
It's a fairly low level spell, right? For you, I mean.
What? It's a 4th level spell.
Yeah. And you got a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say go for it.
Sure.
All right. What's the range on banish?
Where did my spell cards go? There they are. The range on banishment is 60 feet, but I can extend it to 120.
Okay. So Lulu, under your command, plunges into sort of the back edge of the demons, and you just find yourself basically flying above and through a swarm of them. Many of them are flying demons, and it's like you're back in that pass in Avernus where you were just surrounded by demons on all sides, except for these ones are whipped up into a frenzy and focus straight ahead. They almost are ignoring you. So Lulu plunges, at least for the moment, Lulu plunges straight into that, and you get to 120 feet away from this creature that is laying absolute waste to the walls of Tantlin. And what do you want to do?
I will use meta magic, distant spell, to double the range, and I will cast banishment.
All right. I will pull up the creature's stat block.
And I'm going to roll wild magic. Oh, wait. Wild magic triggers because Tides of Chaos.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
so glad we're all on this horse with you.
This is excellent.
All right. Let's do this one. And there it is. Okay. 60 and 24. Should we do wild magic first, or should we do banishment first?
Let's do wild magic first.
Okay. 24 is funny. Oh no, 60 would be bad. We're gonna go with 24.
All right. As Harmony casts her spell, initially you guys don't think that the spell works, because basically you see these like multicolored rainbow bubbles appear in the air in front of her, and immediately they pop, and out from the bubbles explode these tiny little metal caltrops, which basically clamber down onto Lulu and then roll off down into the water.
That's not what
They're
banishment
what?
does. I've seen you use banishment. That's not banishment.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a little hiccup there.
And then a second later, the ray of light that is banishment itself streaks out and connects with the body of the creature. And I have a save to make. What kind of save is it?
Charisma.
Okay. Would you believe it passes?
By how much?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to find out?
I mean, I do want to do a bend luck on this. Oh, but...
Go for it.
Oh yeah, it's a creature I can see. I was checking the range on it, but it's just a creature I can see. So that's 2 more sorcery points, and I bend luck. That's a 3.
For a total of... Oh, right,
So you subtract it from its roll.
Yes.
right. So your spell save DC is what now?
23.
Okay. It gets -3. It still passes.
Damn it.
Yep.
Well, it was
However, when the spell connects with it, it begins to turn in the water, churning the harbor's waters beneath it as its massive body turns around, creating a wave behind it. And all 4 of its glowing red eyes are fixated on you. And I think we're going to need to roll initiative. And it's too bad we're playing online because I printed a mini a long time ago for this.
Show it to us.
There he is.
Oh.
Oh man, look at this guy.
grab it and send it to Nick. And then
Yeah, we'll post it on Twitter maybe.
Time.
Okay.
Oh.
I was really proud of my paint job on it too. I thought it turned out well.
Aw.
I have a feeling this will still be a factor in the next session, so I can put it up on
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
100.
Even if we roll initiative now, we will probably not get through this encounter. That's for sure. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready to start, and I can take initiative.
I got mine.
I'm ready.
All right. Thaddeus
11.
and Harmony.
Unmute. Damn it. Okay. 7.
Nice. Zant
19.
and Mara.
20.
And let me add Lulu in here. I didn't know if she'd be a factor. What is Lulu's
poor Mara.
initiative?
Oh, I haven't rolled it yet. Let me check here. What is Lulu's dex?
For Mara, you got a 20.
I'm going first.
Lulu's
Yeah.
13.
I don't like it.
13. Okay.
Pick the fastest class and you're complaining about it. Wow.
Okay, but I cast fly, so
I thought you did fly beforehand.
Okay.
no.
wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Biako got a 20.
Yes, Biako. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I feel like if Harmony had time to cast management, you had time to cast fly.
I think so.
Yes.
Good.
Guys, you're gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna have to get those again because I forgot about Biako. I put him in at an 11.
Oh, that is.
I accidentally auto rolled for him.
Oh.
Okay, we'll redo it here. So
Okay.
Thaddeus was an 11.
That is 11. Lulu is a 13.
Harmony was 7. Lulu is 13. Okay, Mara was a 20. I remember that. And Zant was what?
19.
And Biako is a 20 as well.
Yes. Biako and Zant always stick together somehow in initiative.
All right. Mara, you're still up first.
Okay, so since I'm flying, okay, so I would have had to dip my my daggers previously in the holy water, right? So I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
Should have done it while I was talking about it on the ship. But yeah, I will.
Bonus action.
Hmm?
Is it an action or a bonus action to dip the daggers in the holy water?
It doesn't actually say in the holy water, but what would it be for like poison?
I feel like it would be like basically to use an item action.
So it's an action.
Yeah, I know some rogues get use an item as a bonus action, but I don't think Mara's that kind of rogue.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so since I cast fly, would I have had enough time to get on the other side of him because he turned to look at Harmony?
The group of you are like 120 feet away. Fly gives you a speed of 60, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get up to him if you dash, and then 60 feet past if you bonus action dash.
Yeah, and then you would have a chance to attack.
Okay, and that would the sneak attack still apply then?
It would.
No, because you guys aren't close enough, right?
But you're
Wait,
one-on-one with it.
you would be close
so-
enough.
Oh, okay.
Sneak attack if you're alone in melee.
Okay.
You'd be fine.
All right. So let's go. Let's go get him.
Go, Mara.
All right. Which of these bad boys is lucky tonight? Come on. Oh, poop.
Not that
That
one.
is a 17, and it's going to jail.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
No. What were you throwing a dagger?
No, just
Yeah.
stabbing.
Oh, stabbing directly at it? No, as you're flying by, you try and stab into the creature with a dagger, but you find that your dagger meets with this like heavily muscled hide, and it just can't cut through it at all. This thing is tougher on the outside than it looks.
Darn. Okay, so then I dash away, but I still want to be opposite of the direction he's looking.
Okay. Easy enough. So you are sort of on the opposite side of it. Then it is Yako's turn.
Is Lulu landing, or what's going on with Lulu?
Harmony can't fly, so I think she at least needs to be on Lulu.
Okay, because I could also stay on Lulu.
Fly. Yeah.
So I guess Byako can jump off if are we gonna pass by this thing?
On Lulu's turn, probably we will.
Okay, so then Byako can hold an action to pounce and attack on his turn, or on Lulu's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Would that work, Ethan?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay, so that's Byako.
But this thing is like rising up out of the harbor, so Byako would essentially have to stay on the creature or fall into the water.
Byako has a climb speed, so that should be okay, right?
Okay, he's going to try and hang out on the creature. That's fine.
Sure.
Seems like a good idea.
Shout of the Colossus style.
At the end of the initiative rounds of 20, I need someone to roll me a d10.
I'll do it.
Okay.
What, do you want high or low, Ethan?
Well, just tell me what you get.
I got a 10.
Oh, a 10. Nice.
Is that nice for us?
Nice for you, yeah. In this case.
All right.
Oh, thank God.
You're welcome.
There are demons all around, but luckily you guys are kind of getting the drop on the situation, and none of them seem bothered by you yet. Despite the fact that you haven't drawn their ire yet.
Okay.
So effectively, you're safe for the moment.
Oh gosh.
That was a good roll. Zant.
Just do that every time and we're fine.
I'll try. I will take some shots against this large creature from atop Lulu.
Okay. At this point, you're still 120 feet away because Lulu is way back there.
No problem. Okay, so that is a 20 to hit.
Demon Iker.
20 hits its its abdomen, and there's a flare of orange light from under the skin, and it just seems like the arrow incinerates there.
What? Wait, so it does hit, or is this just flavor?
That's a flavorful miss.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, hang on a second. All right, I got a 33.
That'll hit.
Okay, great. And then I got barely, and then a 28.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Okay, so on the first one, I will put some sauce on it and use the Beholder bow. Let me roll for that. That's a 2, so that's paralyze. That's a Constitution save.
Okay.
And this is like a gargantuan or whatever creature.
Gargantuan, yep.
Okay.
It passes its save.
Yeah, it's fine. It's magic damage now. And for the next one, I will use I'll use another one of the Demon Iker arrows.
Okay. I will tell you now, against a Demon Lord, that's going to have no effect.
The arrows at all?
The Demon Iker will.
Okay. So, or just like mundane damage is going to do nothing as well.
Mundane damage might still do something. The Demon Iker, it's not gonna do anything.
Demon Iker is gonna hurt demons. Genius.
Okay, so I'll shoot just a regular arrow to see how effective it is. In any case, we have 30? Yeah. 30 damage is magical, and then 27 is piercing.
Okay. The arrow that hits it that is non-magical bounces off, and that is not a flavorful miss. It just no damage.
Nothing happens. Okay,
Just
so
skates
from
against
now
its
on I have
skin
to
and
use.
just falls into the water.
Okay, luckily I bought those magic arrows. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll do that next time. Otherwise, that's what I got.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the creature reaches up one of its tentacles as someone is within its range now, and it brings actually not a tentacle. It rises up this whip-like tail that it has heavy barbs on it out from the water of the harbor and lashes that at Mara. Mara, I am going to roll to hit you. Oh wow, I rolled a 19. So that is really high. Yep, that hits.
This is not a
Okay.
So Mara, you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and then the tail grapples you. It grabs
Uncanny
onto you.
dodge.
Mm-hmm. Can I still do that on if I'm flying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
uncanny dodge. So that's 10 points of bludgeoning damage, but the tail still grabs onto you. And then something will happen at the start of your turn, which I will try to remember. Then it is Thaddeus' turn.
Alright. Thaddeus is going to, as a bonus action, name the Demon Lord as Asanahan's enemy.
If he wasn't already.
It bellows in rage as you evoke a deity of good's name in its presence. It just fire you can see in its throat as it roars at you from both of its heads.
And
Wait, he can't OA me if it's a OA. He can't.
It wasn't.
Because
It
of
was
my-
a legendary action.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, shouldn't it be Lulu's turn first?
Lulu was down at.
13.
Gosh darn it! I didn't put Lulu in again. I'm bad. Yes, Lulu should have gone first.
Okay, which is good because I kind of wanted Lulu to go to first anyway, so we could all get in range.
Yep.
So Byaku's held action goes off. Do you want me to do that first, or do you want to do something else?
Let's take care of Byaku first.
Okay. So Byaku's going to pass, and he doesn't need to make a check because he's huge, or gargantuan. Cannot be knocked prone. Hi, Sona. Byaku gets a 25 to hit.
Oh, that'll do it. So Byaku
Okay.
pounces onto this thing, and it
Rakes
has like
into-
spikes on its back, but Byaku manages to get the claws in there.
That is 19 damage.
Okay.
So Byaku rakes in with his claws.
All right. The creature almost doesn't even seem to notice Byaku on its back yet. It's like a flea to this thing. Thaddeus.
Yeah, so Lulu is going to, as an action, disengage and move past the creature so that Byaku can do its thing, and then go 30 feet away from the creature
Okay.
with Harmony and Thaddeus still aboard.
Lulu moves past and then goes 30 feet beyond. Okay, got it. That sort of, if you're going that close to it, then it will probably get an attack of opportunity. Is that
But she
okay?
disengaged.
Oh, she disengaged,
To-
right.
to avoid
Yep,
that.
you're fine then. Perfect. Then it's
Um,
Thaddeus.
Yeah, Thaddeus jumps off of Lulu and flies over to the Demon Lord, and while doing so, names it the enemy and then does 2 attacks. At advantage.
Get him, Thaddeus. Get a crit.
God, I hope so.
Please.
How beautiful would that be?
Not on the first one. The first one is a 26 to hit.
That'll do it.
Okay.
Come on.
Oops, one off the table.
That's the crit.
Nope, not a crit. The other
Dang.
one's a 27. I'll
That'll
get one.
also hit, though.
If I survive,
Yeah.
I'll get one.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put some juice on these. Let's see here. Let's call these both second level slots. I need to remember how much damage I do because it's changed. I do so much damage now.
Whoop whoop.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, right. So 3. Do I need to separate slashing and radiant here?
I don't think so. Let me take a look.
It is magic slashing.
You do not.
Okay. So I'm gonna clear off some space for these dice. So that's 68 slashing plus
Jeez.
10d8 radiant. Yes, that's correct. All right, cool. So I'm
One
gonna
shot
roll
him.
all my dice here.
That's a very satisfying
Yeah.
noise.
Oops. These are some good rolls.
Yeah, on my last turn, I just rolled this one. That's my only damage dice. Beep.
Well, at least you got to roll some.
I'm sorry.
I know. For those of us who have to roll still, I don't know how you stopped doing that.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, I got 20 on initiative
Okay.
again. Oh.
86 damage.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay. It does more than roar in fury at that, Thaddeus. It looks down at you with fire burning in both of its eyes, and both of its mouths open, and speaks in unison. It just says, "You will die."
You say both, but doesn't he have 4?
2 mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 mouths and then 2 eyes?
2 mouths, 4 eyes.
Oh, okay, 4 eyes.
Two
4 eyes.
faces.
Alright.
There he is.
Yeah, alright. Both pairs of his eyes.
Yep.
There we go.
Then I need someone else to roll a d10 for me.
I'll do it.
Alright.
2.
Oh
2.
no!
Okay. No, this is actually a good thing. Let's see. Harmony. You are on the only one who's really on solid ground, I guess. You and Zant are kind of standing on Lulu.
Mm-hmm.
How would this work? One of those like a flying devil flies past, and it's carrying another smaller devil. And it kind of drops that devil down onto Lulu's back. And you've seen this type of devil before. It was the sort of devil that was bodyguarding Bazith. You remember they had like those bronze masks on.
Mm-hmm.
It had like a long lance, and they were able to like shield Bazith against damage. This devil lands in front of you. And it turns to you and says in Infernal, "My master has seen you rising to the challenge. I'm here to protect you." And it takes up a defensive stance in front of you.
Awesome.
Oh,
And you
great.
can see it has the Infernal number 6 carved into its mask.
Fuck yes.
Nice.
That's great.
I'll say thank you for coming in Infernal back at him.
All right. Then at the end of Thaddeus's turn, I guess we've moved past that. Never mind. Harmony.
Alright, I'm going to look at this big demon lord motherfucker, and I'm going to cast Hold Monster.
Beautiful. What kind of save is that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Ooh. It passes, but it's closer than before.
And luck.
Your spell save is, what, 24?
23.
23, okay.
Yeah. Do I want to use my reaction to bend luck or not? Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
I'm always going to
I mean-
encourage you to do it, because that one time worked so well.
Old Monster is also a high level spell, right?
5th level,
It's
yeah. So even if it has to burn a legendary reaction on it, it's going to...
But you can pierce legendary reactions
This
down,
wasn't
right?
a legendary resistance, though.
No, I know, but
But-
if it now fails and then has to burn one to not be held, then you get to do some good damage.
Yep,
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true. But also, if it just succeeds, hold monster is super helpful.
Yeah.
Oh,
for you
okay.
guys.
I don't know what it does. So
That's another 3.
Another 3 is not quite enough. You did need the 4 on that one.
oh,
So it passes.
Well, okay, in that case, fuck. Well, I guess that's my turn then.
Okay. At the end of your turn, then, it turns one of its heads towards Thaddeus, I think, because Thaddeus has done a ton of damage to it.
Better than anyone else so far.
Yep. And it is going to do... it basically turns its gaze to you, and as its gaze lands on you, there's this like mind-warping effect. Like your mind instantly becomes like befuddled, and it's like everything kind of warps and distorts around you. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. You can avert your eyes to avoid it if you want and automatically succeed, but if you do so, then you can't see it until the start of this creature's next turn, which would mean...
Which is probably pretty soon, because it hasn't really acted yet.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and avert it.
Okay, so it's no problem for you. And then it is this creature's turn, actually, right away.
So, yeah,
So that was
why
not an issue for you at all. Why is that the order that happens in? I don't know. Okay.
this Demon Lord's also learning how to play its class right now. It's okay.
It is. Its stat block is very long. Well, Thaddeus is right up on it.
Yeah.
It's angry. It's going to make tentacle attacks against Thaddeus.
Okay.
30 and 33.
Yeah. Thaddeus can go up to 25, but neither of those is worth shielding against.
You take 70 points of bludgeoning damage, all told.
None of this is necrotic, right?
Nope, but you do need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
2 of them, actually.
Okay. Alright. Oh, very, very nice savings. 24.
Okay.
Does
And
that
the second
pass?
one?
Does 24
That is a pass for the first
Alright,
one.
then the other one also passes, because he has a
Sweet.
26.
Then you resist the secondary effect that is on there.
Nice. And how much damage was that?
70 total.
Okay. Okay.
And that is its turn proper. Yep. And I think that's probably a good place to end the night, since that's the end of a round of combat against this creature. But essentially, you guys have converged in the middle of this stormy sky, lightning striking all around you, devils and demons fighting all around on the walls. And you begin to mount the first effective defense against the Prince of Demons since his incursion into Hell, and I think that's where we'll have to pick up next week.
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh my gosh. You
I didn't
guys.
expect you guys to charge right into it.
I wasn't either.
Hi!
I thought we were gonna like.
I was like all prepared for if you were gonna like sneak past it into the city and like all the.
Thought we were gonna do.
Yep. This is why I shouldn't prepare.
If I had passed that wisdom saving throw during the night, maybe that's what we would have done.
Oh, is that why?
Oh, I see.
Oh my god.
Oh, amazing.
All right. Well, thank you
Hungry
guys for
for battle.
playing. Before we disconnect, I'll just get the initiative numbers from you one more time so that I can write them down and plug them in when we start next time. But thank you guys for playing. Thank you to everyone who watched, and we'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So,
Yeah.
see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.